Hello and welcome. I figure it's getting near the end of the year. Today's December 20th, and I thought it would be really fun to just do a reaction, kind of flipping through some of my old New Year bullet journal spreads. And I have quite a few old bullet journals here, and I'm really excited to kind of take a walk down memory lane and take a look at what's been working, what hasn't worked, and just kind of help me get an idea of what I want to do for my 2024 bullet journal spread. So, without further ado, let's jump into these. Here is just a quick glance at some of these beauties, all the way from 2016 to my most recent one, which I didn't date, so we'll see when we open it up. All right, so first things first, let's start with the 2016 bullet journal. I started this in May. This is not my very first bullet journal, but I know that my very first one doesn't have a New Year's spread, so I went ahead and omitted it. And let's go ahead and just dig into this and see where things are. Maybe I'll have it in here. Okay, so maybe a little bit later. I'm just going to flip through. I'm going to recognize a lot of this just intrinsically. This is November. Do I not have one in here? I don't know if I do. Wait, hold on a second. Ha! Look at me go. It ends in early December. So this one actually is not going to have what we need. So let's move on to the next one. I should have read the date. Here we go. Here is my very first bullet journal New Year's spread. So I just kind of have one little page here in the very beginning. Help me kind of get my brain in order. And then we flip and we have Farewell 2017 and Preparing for 2018. So let me kind of just read through these and see what we have. I have a memories section where I kind of wrote down some basic memories. Really small though, not a very big amount of space here. I like this page visually. I like how simple it is. I like the color coordination and everything. I have my successes, if I could change, so kind of like the positive things from the year, and then some notes, some criticisms, what worked, what didn't work, a mood tracker, staying in all the time, not exercising, not communicating boundaries at work, not having fun. That's definitely like taking a look in the mirror, because it is. That's what these are. These are little mirrors into the past. So I generally like this. I think this is not enough space to really do the work that I was wanting to do here, but I think it was a really good start. I also really like these pages that aren't functional, but they're kind of like chapter pages. They help me know really quickly at a glance where we are. And then Hello 2018 with this gorgeous old tortoise down here, which I'm really fond of this spread. And then this page, this is such a pretty page and it's so simple. I don't like how I spaced it. I spaced it all wonky. There's way too much space down here. But I just love how clean and simple this is. And I definitely think I would do this again. Not only does it photograph really well, it just looks really nice. And it's nice to have the year at a glance. Here we go. A level 10 life. This is something that I have made a regular habit in my bullet journal New Year's spreads, and you'll see more of them. But this one, I believe this was the very first time that I didn't make it a circle, and I made it into like a bar graph instead. And I like the way that it looks. It was very easy to fill out, and it's very easy to see where everything is. And again, I'm really liking the color combinations here. The only thing is that I don't love the fact that I used Tombows up here when I used watercolors here. I wish I kind of kept it consistent. Same with the writing over here. You barely see it because it's so light. But I really love this spread, and I will continue to use this moving forward. All right, here's like a mind map, how to have an amazing 2018. This is definitely not a bad move. I think a mind map is always a really solid thing to do to kind of get your thoughts in order. But I never looked at this again because it's really hard to read, and I'm not going to try to read it now. So maybe it was really useful right then, but I don't think I'm going to do it quite like this again. Or if I do mind map again, I'm going to make it a lot more easy to read. All right, here's a nice simple page, habits to kill and habits to grow. So this is really just helping me with kind of figuring out what are the negative habits that I want to try to like cut back on or eliminate, and then what are the healthy habits that I want to promote. I think it's nice to have its own spread. This is a cleaning calendar. Again, a really good idea in theory, but I never once looked at this again because once I turned the page, it kind of vanished. But this might be a good thing to transition into some kind of a worksheet that I can then pin up in my kitchen or my bathroom or whatever. But yeah, in the yearly planner, not so much. I have an ideal schedule that I've listed out. I think this was a really good exercise to help me kind of figure out where I wanted my time to be spent, and a weight tracker that I never once updated ever again. I'm also a lot less concerned about my weight nowadays, so that's neat. I just kind of am, and that makes me happy now. So maybe if you're really interested in losing weight for the new year, this would be a really solid one for you, but I'm not gonna do it again. Master plan. All right, so this is basically what I did is I have 6 months, and I wanted to kind of have there be like one major goal for every single month. Again, I didn't really ever come back and look at it. I think it was a good idea for me to think about my goals in that manner when I was sitting down and penning this out. This is a fine thing to add, but it would need to be followed up with more work than what I put in. Year in pixels, I was doing really good. I got all the way to the end of July, and then almost all the way to the end of July before I fell off. But I got a good amount in there. That was kind of neat. Okay, let me see if there's another New Year spread in here. Where are we? May, February. Good Lord, is this all? Oh my God, I apparently didn't have a very bullet journal heavy year. I forgot about this. This right here. This is my New Year spread. This is 2018 in all, and then it turns to my next New Year's spread. I don't know what happened. All right, here we go. Another nice little end cap page. I love the wreath. I hate. It's still years later bothers me. It's so off center. Ugh, and I hate it. I knew it as soon as I was starting to letter it. I knew it was a problem. And this right here, hold on, look at me. This is why I am such a big proponent of penciling things out now, because I have had so many instances where I went in all cocky, all excited, and I started lettering and it was completely off. And it pains me to think about it, pains me to look at, because this one really got me. It's not that big of a deal. I know it's really not that big of a deal, but it's permanent. It's there, and it's never going to stop being bothersome. I do like the lettering, if it weren't off-center. I like the style of the lettering. But here we go. We have a 2018 in review, 2018 in one sentence. I kind of like that. I think I might try to bring that back. Once again, I want to call out the horrendous spacing on my stuff up here. I just went straight in, didn't pencil it in first. Learn from me. But I do like this. I like being able to kind of like look back at the memories. Those are all really nice, and I'm glad that I was able to write those down. Oh God, here's a gorgeous one. Level 10 goals. So I did the bar format, which worked really, really nice. It's just very beautiful because I kept it really, really simple. It's just black and then this one blue. No other blues, no other colors. Very simple. And the writing over here is really satisfying. All of this is really nice. This is a really good format. Here is another lovely page, Hello 2019, and then this was my phrase of the year. This isn't just random. And actually that was the last year with the tortoise. I think my word of the year was slow down, hence the tortoise. So branch out. This was kind of what I was going for. All right, here we go. A 2019 master plan. I really tried doing a little bit of a different setup this year, and I do think this was a really cool idea where I have my goal, but then I also break it down into like 3 chunky steps. Yeah, I organized it really nicely. Again, headers are off because I couldn't get my shit together. And that's the end. That's just it. It ends. Cool, let's move on. Now we're going to a very special journal, and this is the Art Journal Olive watercolor notebook. This is a dot grid watercolor notebook, so it is really good for watercolor. I was really allowed to just go nuts with it. I do believe this is now discontinued, which is a bummer, but let me kind of show you what I got in here because it's really cool. All right, first of all, we got a nice hardcover. I'm going to move that over. Oh, look. Okay. I just kind of jumped straight in. These are a couple pages of me just sort of testing the waters, making sure that the paper can hold up to what I have to give it. And it does. And then we just go straight into Goodbye 2019. And then this page, which is so cool. I love this page. This is how I think I want to continue doing memories for the year, because this is just such a fun way to get the biggest pieces. So we have 2019, we have the vacation in Australia. We built our dining room table. We went to a Hosier concert. We went on a family trip to Mexico. We bought our house. Like we adopted Cora, our cat. Like we just did so many cool things, and being able to like design it like this and really sitting down and planning it with pencils really made a big difference in making the whole thing come together, look cohesive, and feel like a really nice representation of the whole year. So this is a winning spread. This is fantastic. And then we just have a really simple Goodbye 2019, which I think is really cute. Flipping the page. Hello 2020. Oh, how naive we were back then. Look at that. A nice little shine to it. And this was my word of the year, flow. I did this lovely little illustration, and I wrote the definition, or my definition, of the flow. This was my word of the year. I really wanted to find more flow in my 2020. Unfortunately, that didn't quite happen, but that's not my fault. So, sorry, looking at all of these is a little funny to me. This page is just kind of with the beginning of like a new decade. I thought it would be fun to kind of throw down some predictions. We're only 3 years in, and things have already taken a huge turn away from what we expected, so God knows what the next 7 years will hold. But I have this to look back on when we reach 2030. And I also have a 20 goals in 2020s. You know what I mean? Like, or 20 goals in, maybe it was in I wasn't clear. Next time I'm going to be a little more clear about what the hell that means. All right, here we go. We have another mind map, which is a little bit better than that one from 2 years prior. Here, I took a couple of goals and broke them down into bite-sized pieces, like into their various steps. Next, we have this year's level 10 life. I reverted back to our circle format, which is harder. It's harder. It's fine. I think I like the bar one now that I've like looked at them recently, but still, this is really cute. I really like it. You kind of get to see it all. I like the lettering that I did for these. I really nailed the lettering this time around. And it's all centered. Oh, yes, I love it. This is all very nice, very clean, very simple and easy to read. No complaints there. And from here, we launch into the January spread, which I kind of just kept the same sort of theme and moved forward with it. But that is that. This is a particular favorite spread of mine because this makes me think of flushing a toilet, which was sort of the intention. Goodbye 2020. What a garbage year. What a just garbage year. But I will say I really like this page so much. So I kept it a little more simple than I did the year before. COVID taking up just a huge bite out of everything because, of course. And I just kind of kept some really simple things in here to kind of give it a little bit of balance, give it a little bit of color, but really hit the highlights. Well, not the highlights, but the most important things. COVID wasn't a highlight. We have the goodbye page, and then we have the hello page, which I really love how I did that. That was a really good move, very aesthetically pleasing. We have our hello with this gold sort of line and splatter. Very nice. And then I really went a little bit crazy this year. And here I did a beautiful piece of art. And I don't think I shared this enough, honestly. I feel like this kind of work of mine didn't really get shared more than once. And a lot of people never saw it. And that's a shame because I'm really proud of it. But my word of the year was journey, which you can't easily see because it's gold. I promise it's easy to see in person. The camera just doesn't really want to pick it up. But I have these beautiful fish that I painted, really just gorgeous. This woman kind of walking underwater. I just wanted it to be kind of a fantastical scene, sort of representing that you never know where things are going to take you. And it's always a bit wild and mysterious, but you're in it for the journey. So this is a really fun one that I did with watercolor and colored pencils. I really kind of started getting into colored pencils this year. We move forward, and we have our level 10 life once again. Another beautiful arrangement. I did another round one here. I did it with colored pencils this time, which was fine. I think I'm gonna go back to watercolor. That's a well I really like going back to. I have my goals over here that I believe, yeah, I color coordinated the different sections with their colored pencil colors, which I think was a really cool move. This was nice. Very good. No notes. 2021 affirmations. I'm always trying to add affirmations to my repertoire, and it's not. I've not failed because I'm doing it a lot more than I ever used to, but it's certainly not a regular daily activity for me. This was a nice little positive section to have, and then we just end unceremoniously again. There we go, just thrown right into the next thing. So we have goodbye 2021. Nice, beautiful, love that. This is another really good one. I'm very fond of these little illustrations. This is one that I really need to keep around because this is a winner. So we went to Arizona. We have Foxy in there. Very nice. This is very tidy. This is really, really nice. I did a good job with this. Go past me. What a winner. So another really simple page with a nice little wreath. I like these just round things. They just, I don't know, they always look good. Oh, yeah. This is a great one. Create was my word of the year for 2022, and I freaking nailed this. Look at this. Look at that lettering. Look at that design. The colors. My. And then we have this gorgeous illustration over here, which is really fun. Has that element of gold in there as well. This is really cool. Level 10 life, another round one. Really pretty again. Really loving the colors. Blue and pink have been my colors for a while now, so this is very lovely to see. And that is the end. I'm wondering if there should just be like a page that sort of symbolizes like, all right, this is the end. Now go forth into the year and good luck. Toss that to the side. And I don't think I did 23 setup February. These are some nice ones. So this was the year that I kind of got back into bullet journaling after, as you can see, a bit of a slump there. But I didn't really share it because I realized that the feeling like I had to share it was giving me a lot of anxiety. So I just sort of let myself not have to share things. Oh, this is August 22. Okay, so this is September 22. October 22. That's pretty cute. That's really simple too. November 22. I'm fond of this. November. We got a December here. What else we got? January. No New Year spread in here? Yeah, so I guess I didn't do a New Year's spread at the beginning of last year. I think I was just feeling really overwhelmed and struggling with depression at the time, so I just sort of was doing whatever I could to get by. But this year, I am going to be doing a spread. I'm getting back on that train because honestly, this is such a positive thing to get in the habit of. It's a really nice way of cataloging your life in a really simple fashion so that you can easily go through and see what used to be important to you. How good were you at the things that you were doing? Like how did your bullet journal look? How was your handwriting? How was your design? Whatever. It's really fun to just get to look back and see what was accomplished that year, what I was aspiring to do or be, and just who I wanted to become. Because it's wild, but now I am the person that I wanted to be several years ago in a lot of ways. And I am just really excited to get to look back at those things. These are treasures that I'm giving myself. And it also helps me kind of get my brain stacked right for the new year and not feel like I'm stumbling into January, which is what happens if I don't have something of a plan in place. So if you want to watch me set up my 2024 New Year bullet journal, then all you got to do is join me for a live stream on December 30th. I'm going to have a live stream, and it could be multiple many hours long, because I need to just sit down and do it, and having you all hang out with me while we're doing it, and you can join me and do your own bullet journal, your own planning. It's just going to be a really chill time to get ourselves right for the new year, make our plans, make our goals, and really hit the new year strong. So if you want to join me for this little planathon, then all you got to do is go down into the description and hit the link, go sign up. It's free to join. It's just going to be a really cool time, and I would love to have you there. Thank you so much for joining me on this walk down memory lane. This has been really fun to see how this tradition has changed over the years, how I've changed over the years, and also how late in my bullet journaling career I actually started doing this, which is just wild. I didn't realize it has only been like 5 years. But nonetheless, I digress. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video or like it, and let me know down below which New Year's spread was your favorite. That's all for me. I have to go, but I hope you enjoyed this, and I will catch you on December 30th. See you later.